I don't think I've had any other RPG that has described a class or template before as junior varsity. But that's exactly how the Dresden Files RPG describes the Red Court Infected template. Someone who is powerful, but not quite in the major leagues yet. So, what is a Red Court Infected? Well, in the lore, Red Court Infected are people that have been halfway turned into vampires of the Red Court. Remember, there are different kinds of vampires. Red Court are the kind that spreads by biting people and trading of the blood and whatnot. But in order to become a full vampire, one of these half vampires must take the life of another person to consume their blood. And that is what drives the change from half vampire to full-blooded monster. So this is a very interesting template. Much like the changeling template that I discussed earlier, there are conditions that can be met, in this case, killing a person and drinking their blood. You lose your character. You become a Red Court vampire. Sure, just like all other death scenes in Dresden, you control this, but you lose the character forever. Isn't that fun? Yeah, so this is a really interesting one to play out. So, among the musts, first and foremost, your high concept must address your infected nature. The examples they give are once bitten, twice red, or infected insurgent. You'll notice neither of those sound normal, like some of the other templates we've gone over will have supernatural and then day job. Not for these guys. And I'll talk about that in a minute. In the meantime, the supernatural powers you must have are addictive saliva, blood drinker, feeding dependency, and at least one of inhuman recovery, speed, strength, or toughness. It also goes on to say again that at any point, if you kill someone and drink their blood, you immediately upgrade to a full Red Court vampire, which turns you into an evil NPC monster that's probably going to be, needed to be destroyed at some point. Your inhuman toughness and recovery is going to come with a catch, and the recommended catch for this is holy stuff. Symbols of faith, sunlight, anything you can think of that would normally affect, a vampire. It's up to you, but you have to pick something as a weakness that kind of turns off your superpowers. And then the optional abilities they say you can take are the Tattoos of St. Giles and the Cloak of Shadows. So the tattoos helps you control your hunger more, and the cloak of shadows lets you basically become temporarily invisible in shadows. Anyway, minimum refresh cost -3, though you're probably going to end up spending more. Now, going back to the high concept and turning into a vampire if you kill someone, why would you do that? Well, it's in the high concept. The GM is going to be throwing you compels all the time regarding your vampiric hunger. Anytime you see blood, anytime you're exhausted, anytime you even use your powers, you're going to be having fate points thrown your way to go berserk, to give in to the beast, to drink the blood, and to kill. On the bright side, though, when you're not around blood or using your powers, you can use your high concept to negate the hunger. You can throw a fate point at the GM and say, "No, not today, sir." Or ma'am. That should be about it. Oh, actually, this is one of the few templates that comes with recommended skills as well. It recommends Fists, Deceit, and Discipline, pages 130, 126, and 127, respectively. These guys make very good physical fighters. They can take a beating. Just don't make too much of a mess of your victims, or, of course, you might just turn. All in all, the Red Court Infected is my third favorite template out of the 14 presented in the Your Story rulebook. And as for my personal thoughts, if you couldn't tell already, I really love them. They come with a nice built-in hook, and it takes a lot of skill to roleplay these out very well. It takes skill to roleplay out, the constant blood hunger. And it takes, well, I don't want to get too gamey here, but strategy to know to save enough fate points to resist your hunger. Otherwise you're going to lose your character really quickly, especially if your GM is, well, seemingly ruthless, but doing this correctly. All in all, great template. And next time I see you, we're going to be discussing the Sorcerer template. We're getting up there in power level, folks. We're getting to the point where we can start zapping down monsters with lightning. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great evening.